only what score he or she gives each contestant. The average scores, which appear on your screens at home, will not be shown on the monitors here in the theater. Now, let's meet Miss Virginia. Step right out here. Miss Virginia is Sandra D. Jones. She's 24. She lives in Richmond, and you have already received one of the top awards of the pageant. I'm referring to Miss Photogenic. Why don't you tell our viewers about that, how it's awarded?
Well, the other afternoon, around 1:30, we all got up on stage, and we were supposed to be here for the Miss Photogenic. And I was looking over on the other side, and I said, oh, something's going to happen. And then when they announced my name, I was just thrilled and shocked.
Well, the point is that the photographers who cover the pageant from all over the world make this award, and they chose Miss Virginia as the most photogenic young lady in the pageant this year. Now, I find it interesting that she is not just Miss Virginia, and she is not just Sandra D. Jones of Richmond. She is Sandra D. Jones Incorporated. And would you explain that?
Well, last year I started a modeling and advertising agency in Richmond and in Atlanta. And the modeling has, I've done a few things with TV and magazines and things like that. And I'm starting a new restaurant in advertising. And we're starting it from the ground floor up, so we're real excited about it.
Do you have any friends or relatives here to cheer the corporation on?
Yes, I do. Friends?
How many? Now, wait a minute. You got the governor of Mississippi applauding over here.
Thank you.
How many do you have?
I have about 24 here.
They're investors who are here to check on their investment, right? Thank you very much, Miss Virginia. They're seeing the score at home. Now we will talk with Miss Tennessee, who is Niecy Levy, 21. A student at Middle Tennessee State University, and what do you study?
I majored in broadcast journalism.
Good for you. What would you like to do?
Well, I hope to become a broadcast journalist someday.
And work in news?
That's right.
Would you like to start right now?
Oh, I'd love to.
My thought is that Dan Rather has just said we are going now to the Mississippi Gulf Coast for an on-the-scene report on the Miss USA pageant from Niecy Levy. Go.
I'm reporting from the live telecast of the Miss USA pageant. On stage with me is Mr. Bob Barker, who is Master of Ceremonies, and in front of me we have the celebrity panel of judges in whose capable hands lies the decision of who will be Miss USA for 1982. And we'll be back later to bring you the results. This is Niecy Levy reporting for CBS.
Frankly, that was a little too good. Thank you very much, Miss Tennessee. Miss Michigan, come out to me, please. She is Diane Marie Arabia, 21, from Warren, a professional musician.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us what you have done, what you are doing, and what you would like to do in music?
Well, right now I am teaching privately in my home. I've got about 30 or 40 of my own students. I'm a jazz player. I played with a jazz show group for about 2.5 years, which enabled me to do a lot of traveling across the country. Through the past 12 or 14 years, I've done a lot of studying, and I've chosen jazz as my specialty. I've just found it to be a little bit more of an expressive type music, and it allows me to be a little bit more creative when I'm composing.
What's been the most fun for you in the pageant?
Probably the most exciting thing for me is just having the opportunity to meet and socialize with all the other girls. To be totally honest, seeing that...
I would certainly want you to be totally honest, Miss Michigan.
Seeing that none of us have seen men for the 2.5 weeks rehearsing with the Naval Aviation Troop hasn't been too bad either.
To be totally honest, again, you mean?
Yeah, again.
I have good news for you.
What?
One of the prizes that Miss USA receives is an ensign this year.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you, Miss Michigan. They have have seen her score at home, and we will talk with Miss Vermont. Miss Vermont is Georgia Davis, age 22, from Bennington, a professional model. Now, as a professional model, you may have had the opportunity to do some traveling, have you?
Yes, I have.
Where have you been working?
I have been working in Italy, Spain, France, Monaco, Switzerland, and America.
Well, very good. Now, these are some exotic places, but the girls have told me that you are very, very proud of Vermont. Would you like to have this opportunity to tell everyone the glories of Vermont?
I would love to. Vermont is a very beautiful state. I'm very proud to be from Vermont. There are many things found in Vermont that can't be found anywhere else in the world. And I hope that each and every one of you will visit us someday.
Now, the girls have been sampling Southern cooking, and they have tried such delicacies as crawfish. Did you like the crawfish?
No, in Vermont we use it as bait.
Now, one man's delicacy is another man's bait. Thank you very much, Miss Vermont. They've tried black-eyed peas, they've had ham hocks, gumbo, the whole thing. Miss Hawaii, would you come out to me, please? She is Vanessa Dubois, 23, from Honolulu. She's an airline stewardess, and I know what many of you at home are saying, that she is the one you heard about on the newscast who had her pendant stolen in New York City, and you didn't you, Vanessa?
That was me.
Yes. Tell our audience about that.
Well, we were staying at the Holleran House in New York City, and we went up the street for about a block just to go to the cosmetics store to get some things to bring down here to Mississippi with us. And we were crossing the street, felt this hand, and my necklace was gone.
But the story has a happy ending, doesn't it?
Very happy. The
What
New York
has
police are wonderful. They found the man that bought the necklace, and they found the man who stole the necklace, and they have the necklace now. And they're going to be giving it back to me very shortly. I'm not sure when.
Which speaks very well of the New York City Police Department. Does indeed. The story does have a happy ending. And what other highlights now of your trip other than being mugged?
Well, being here has been just a wonderful joy for me. They have a lot of aloha spirit here, which is Southern hospitality back home.
Now, I am going to ask you to go back to your place and speak to no strangers as you go. Just go directly back there, all right?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Miss White. Now let's meet Miss Texas. Miss Texas is Luann Coy. She's 22. She lives in Abilene. She attends Texas Tech University, and what are you studying?
Fashion merchandising.
And what do you plan to do?
I want to design someday maybe swimsuits.
Now, you are a member of this joggers group here, are you not?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We've been jogging every night since we've been here, and it's up and down the halls because you can't go outside. And so we have mapped it out that if you jog about 15 laps, that's 1 mile. So we've been doing that every night, and the security guards have been directing traffic. It's pretty funny.
How many of you jog?
There's about 5 of us.
If I have dark circles under my eyes, I want you to know that my room is right under this thundering herd.
Sorry.
And they jog religiously. You've also been ballooning since you got to Mississippi.
Yes, I have, and that was an experience, let me tell you. Miss Louisiana and I were chosen to go up in this hot air balloon. And we were pretty scared at first, but once we got up there, it was a lot of fun. And the funny part about it is that we landed in someone's backyard, and they were celebrating Mother's Day by having a barbecue. So on the way down, we were going, can we have some? We're pretty hungry.
All right. Thank you, Miss Texas. You've met half of our semifinalists. We've had a chance to meet 6 of our semifinalists. Now it is time to talk with the other 6, beginning with you, Miss Kentucky. Come out here to me, please. She is Christina Chapman. She is 19. She lives in Owensboro. She attends Kentucky Wesleyan. And what do you study?
I am an advertising communications major.
And you would like to do what eventually?
Well, someday, eventually, I would like to own my ad agency in a large metropolitan area.
I gave Miss Vermont an opportunity to talk about her state. Let's imagine that you are representing Kentucky with your advertising agency. What would you tell us about Kentucky?
Okay, not only is Kentucky known to be such a great industrial state, but we are known to have beautiful bluegrass countries, and Phyllis George Brown has been to all four corners of our great nation, and she, our First Lady of Kentucky, has chosen Kentucky to raise her son Lincoln.
Possibly because she's married to the governor of Kentucky.
Well, that could help.
What else do you have in Kentucky?
Kentucky is great for farming and fast horses and beautiful women.
Yes, that's right. How many, speaking of fast horses, how many Kentucky Derbies have you seen?
I've seen some, but I haven't ever attended any in person.
What do you mean you've seen some, but you haven't
Well,
attended?
on TV.
Oh, on television. You mean you have never attended?
No, I haven't.
Are you sure you're not from New Jersey?
I'm positive.
Thank you, Miss Kentucky.
Thank you.
You have seen her score, and now let's meet Miss Massachusetts, who is Janet Marie Flaherty, 24 years old, from Wilmington. She models and teaches modeling, and her ambition is to own a health spa. Now, have you worked in a health spa?
Resort health spa.
A resort health spa, yes. Have you worked in a spa?
Yes, I have.
And do you really think that you are capable of operating one?
Sure.
Now, it's quite an investment. Have you saved your money for this?
Well, I was wondering or hoping maybe I'd be able to get a few backers.
You mean here?
Sure.
Anyone like to invest in a health spa in Massachusetts? Strange, but each investor is a young man. Now, Miss Massachusetts, you have been working on your New England accent since you came here, have you not?
I have.
Show our audience, when you arrived, how you would have said, Bob Barker, park your car here.
Bob Barker, park your car here.
Yes, but she's been here for 2 weeks, and she's worked hard. Now show us how you say it.
Bob Barker, park your car here, you all.
She's lost her accent. Thank you. And we are ready for Miss Utah. Miss Utah is Susan Gasser, age 19. She lives in Salt Lake City, and she is studying accounting at the University of Utah and wants to become a CPA. Now, we have talked so much about Southern hospitality. Do you have any comments on that, Miss Utah?
Well, the Southern people sure know how to have a good time, and they make their guests feel right at home.
Particularly those in the balcony. Have you noticed? Now, you agree then that there is Southern hospitality and lots of it. You come from a family of 6 brothers and sisters.
Right.
Is that fun?
Correct. Yes, very fun. They become my best friends.
Would you like to have a large family? How many would you like?
4 or 5.
Really?
Yes, large family.
I suggest you find a Southern gentleman with a plantation here. You're studying to be a CPA. What would you do when you will have this opportunity, you know? I mean, you have this opportunity. You will win $70,000 cash if you're Miss USA. What will you do with it?
Spend it.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Utah. I'm sure she will do exactly that, CPA or not. And Miss Arkansas, Terry Utley, who is 20 years old and who lives in Cabot, Arkansas, and who works for a resort in Hot Springs, Arkansas. What do you do?
I sell timeshares on condominiums. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's brand new in the United States. It's a great way to have vacation time for the next 36 years.
Yes, you sound as if you might be selling condominiums. You do indeed. Where are these?
At Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's Hamilton Harbor Resort.
And you live in Cabot.
Yes, sir.
How large is Cabot?
It's a town of around 4,000. It's a little small town.
What do you do in Cabot, Arkansas, population 4,000, on Saturday night?
In the winter, we stay at home, but in the summer, we tend to go downtown at the Tasty Freeze. And this is funny. My friends at home are going to shoot me, but we sit on the back of the truck sometimes, and I have a friend that plays the banjo, and some of the guys dip skull and, drink a little beer. It's a little good time.
Sounds about like what we do in Hollywood, right, Vic? Thank you, Miss Arkansas. Let's go to Cabot. Let's go to Cabot tonight. And let's meet Miss Ohio before we go. She is Kim Wida. She is 21. She lives in Dayton. And she attends Sinclair College. And what do you study?
Fashion illustration.
Now, I read the bios of the girls in the pageant, and I have good news for you young men in the audience. Miss Ohio is one of the few girls in the pageant who said in her bio that she does not have a boyfriend.
That's right.
Now, be patient, be patient. I am going to sort you out. What sort of boy are you looking for?
Witty, attractive, and ambitious. And if the man is here, would you please come on down?
I don't know about you judges, but she made several points with me just then. Have you been sampling the cooking down here? Have you tried grits?
Every morning, I eat them.
Do you like them?
I love them. A lot of sugar.
On the pageant last year, I said that I liked grits, and I got grits from all over Mississippi. And this year, I want you to know I like diamonds, too. Thank you, Miss Ohio. Miss Maryland, would you come over to me, please? She is Angie Boyer. She is 18. She lives in Dunkirk. She graduates from high school in just 1 week. Yes. And what are your plans?
Well, I plan on attending the University of Maryland to major in television broadcasting, and hopefully someday I'll be an anchor person for a news station or maybe even have my own talk show.
Hopefully you will. Now, if you're graduating in just 1 week, you're probably missing some activities back at high school, aren't you?
Yes, I've missed my senior banquet, my senior class trip, and most of all, senior week, because that's when all the seniors get to say goodbye to each other.
What about final exams?
Oh, I still have to take those.
You have not taken them?
No, I haven't.
Maybe you won't be going to the University of Maryland after all.
That's true.
Have you studied since you've been here?
No.
Will you have time to study when you get home before you have to take the exams?
I'll probably have time, but I probably won't do it.
You see, they are very truthful in these interviews. Now, you have a little buddy here with you, don't you?
Yes, my little brother, and he's out there somewhere.
You know what he did? He came to me and he said if it were possible, would I mention him on the telecast tonight? He's a very precocious young fellow. How old is he?
He's 8.
He's Chaz.
He's Chaz.
Chaz is his name. And there he is right now. Chaz, I asked him what he liked most about having his sister be Miss Maryland. He said, the thing I liked best was getting my picture in the paper. That's Chaz. Thank you, Miss Maryland. You have met our 12 semifinalists.